Hello, this is wmpyr. Okay, so I was asked a question, what do I think about Mike Tyson's peekaboo style? Okay, so yeah, Mike Tyson's peekaboo style I think is very important and beneficial for anyone to study, not just for people that are interested in boxing, but also for people that are interested in self-defense and martial arts, period. I think it's very important, very beneficial. The reason why I think it's so beneficial is because when you look at his fights, one of the reasons why I think he was so successful is something that was taught to me recently by a friend that I go way back into college times, Mr. Jaime. And Mr. Jaime brought to my attention a tactic or a perspective of a fighting tactic called the Ooda Loop, which is observe, orient, decide, and act. And this was created, I think it was created by a Air Force pilot. And to put it simply, please look up the Ooda Loop, but the main idea is to outmaneuver your opponent. And once again, I felt like Mike Tyson had a superior OODA loop to many of his opponents, and that's why he was successful. And so you go, okay, so he was able to outmaneuver his opponents. So therefore, it's all about his footwork. Actually, kind of no, yes and no, because outmaneuvering could mean a lot of things. It's not just footwork. And for me, the biggest interest in Mike Tyson's peekaboo style is his body mechanics. Okay, the way that he moves his body and uses his entire body like as an engine to propel these powerful attacks. So that's very interesting to me, to learn how to develop superior body mechanics. So I'm not built like Mike Tyson. I would never fight like Mike Tyson. That's not my personality. That's not the way that I fight. However, there is no excuse. I can't use that as an excuse to go, no, I'm not going to study that. No, it is important for me to study that method because of body mechanics. In an interview, Mike Tyson said that is a famous interview. He was saying that he was able to hit so powerful, more powerful compared to many of other professional boxers, was because he had the shoulder. What do you call it? The shoulder follow through. Like he would use the shoulder all the way, and the shoulder snap. He said the other guys didn't, so he was following through all the way. And once again, that goes back to his body mechanics. And as a martial arts person, someone who is trying to develop my techniques to make them better and better, it should be my responsibility and my goal to develop as much power, as much speed, power, and be efficient as much as possible in my movements, in my techniques, regardless of trying to fight like very aggressive and powerful or trying to be more at a distance and quick. It doesn't matter. I still need to be using good, skillful technique, good body mechanics. And that is what I see from Mike Tyson's method. So, like I said, to me, that is very, very valuable to watch him move and try to pick some of that up. So yeah, that to me is super, super important. And the other thing is, traditionally in Filipino martial arts, Kali Eskrima Arnis, the footwork is kind of like done separately. They put the sticks down on the ground and you follow these patterns. So footwork is kind of learned by itself, right? And I get that. I understand why they do that. It's probably to simplify, because if you do it with the techniques, it can be too confusing. In fact, the hands alone, a lot of people get confused when they're doing a double sticks and stuff like that. People are like, whoa. So I totally get it. I understand why they do that. But it just doing the footwork that way didn't click for me well. So I had to develop another method for me personally to where I could pick up the art better. And I've been saying that to you guys for many years now, just because there might be other people that are more similar to the way that I think, or just the way that I am. They learn more similar to the way that I do. So the traditional method of putting the sticks down on the ground and doing footwork that way, footwork separately, may not work for some people. Like it didn't really work for me. Okay, so in that case, and still learn Kali Eskrima Arnis, what I did is to go ahead and do the body mechanics first, and from the body mechanics learn footwork as an extension of the body mechanics rather than do it separately. So that clicked for me. It's the same Filipino martial arts, but it's just a different learning order in a way, a different learning method. And by doing it that way, it clicked so much better for me. So I teach it that way in case other people are or that. I teach both. I also put sticks on the ground, but then I also tell people like that wasn't all great for me personally. It might work for you, but here's what worked for me. So that's the way that I teach it. So when I'm looking at the Mike Tyson's body mechanics, and then when I want to see his footwork, I kind of see it more as an extension of his body mechanics. And that really resonates with me. I get that. That feels good for me when I'm shadow boxing with the sticks or empty hand. It just works so much better for me that way. And that's how I practice it. And that was a huge help for me. And like I said, for years I've been teaching it that way, as the footwork is an extension of your body mechanics. And people might be going like, what? Well, what I mean is like move your body. So like with the sticks, we're doing the full swing, not partially or not halfway or not 10%. I mean a full swing. So that's probably 60% or more. Okay, power that you're putting in there, and you're going all the way. So when you do it like that, and I actually, when I trained with a Eskrima group, they corrected me and they said, you're following through way too much. And those guys, I'm not saying they were wrong. I understand where they come from, because those guys were much better than I was at the fighting with the sticks. They can fight better with the sticks. They were seasoned at that, whereas I'm not. So for them, they saw, oh, you're overcommitting. That you're going to get countered. You're going to hit bad. So 100% I agree with them. But I was coming from the stage of, let me get the proper body mechanics down. And for that, like Mike Tyson was saying, you got to do the full follow through. You gotta, you can't just do it halfway. So once you do the full, putting in full power, full swing, the swinging with the stick teaches you the proper body mechanics, because if you swing it, your body doesn't have a choice. It has to move a certain way. So it will naturally get better and better and more efficient that way. So do it with the full swing. And then from there, once you learn that and your body, that goes into muscle memory, then you could start doing quick, non-committed, halfway strikes, fake outs and stuff. You could always do that, but you can't start with the fakes and the feints because you see two people kind of like try to spar that don't know martial arts, and they kind of do the faking stuff, and they start with that, and then they don't really get past that. And then here comes a guy that's just naturally strong, and they don't know how to fight that guy. They just get tagged real hard, and they don't have the power because they just do the quick tag stuff. And so that's the problem there. So you got to develop the power first, and then from there, now I could put in my style where I want to be a lot faster, more like Roy Jones Jr. kind of method where it's more on the outside. Okay, that's fine. But first, try to develop as much power as possible. And as you do that from those swings, you can't just do it standing still. Then I'll never hit my opponent. So from there, now you go, okay, I got to step forward and hit, or I got to go diagonal and hit, or I got to move back diagonal as I do that. Or you start creating the body angles or chasing down your opponent as you do the full swing. So that now, what I'm talking about sounds a lot more like Mike Tyson style, where he's coming after you and he's, being able to put in those full, it looks like he has like two axes, like he's a Viking or something, and he's just swinging those things full force right at you. But if his Ooda Loop is tighter than yours, he can get in and he could land those shots. So while you're throwing one of these, it doesn't matter that he's going from here all the way to over here. If he's able to position himself and go within your punches with the better timing, better angling, better positioning, then he can land those, and those are going to be so, so powerful. And as the rounds go by, you're taking a beating and you're getting more and more discouraged. You're now, even if mentally you're game to fight, your body's scared, so you start flinching, and you're not moving as well, and you start anticipating his shots, and you just take it, and then one just slips through, and it's game over. By the fourth, fifth round, you're done, if you even last that long. So tremendous style. I think I don't know everything about his style. I'm still studying it. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.